And one final person I want to call out in a positive way before we wrap up is Arundhati Roy. Are you familiar with her, Garrett?
Yeah, Arundhati Roy is like the one like celebrity leftist intellectual who's like allowed to say actually revolutionary things, I've noticed.
Oh, they're coming for her
Yeah,
in India. They're
yeah,
coming for her. The Modi regime wants to take her out. They're trying to put her in
yeah.
prison right now. But she wrote this book called Walking with Comrades. It's from the back cover of her book.
We're moving in single file now, myself and 100 quote unquote senselessly violent, bloodthirsty insurgents. I looked around at the camp before we left. There are no signs that almost 100 people had camped here, except for some ash where the fires had been. I cannot believe this army.
She wrote this book. She went and hung out with the Maoists, some Maoist rebels. There's Maoists in India who also engage in armed struggle against the state, and they tend to be in places that the state wants to open up to mining contracts and whatnot, or they want to move them around. So the Maoists have tend to develop in resource-rich rural areas, forests and mountains and whatnot. Anyway, so there's a Maoist insurgency. There's been a Maoist insurgency going on for quite some time. I'm not an expert on this. I know it exists, but anyway, Arundhati Roy, total ethnographic thing, and lived with them. So just a couple of pictures. So here she is with her notebook, and here she is with some of the Maoists, just hanging out with them. Here's a lady with a gun, talking to them. Here it is when maybe she's talking about, because they have to keep on the move, right? Because the Indian state has been trying to, as you can imagine, the Indian state wants to quash the Maoist rebellions and insurgencies. They don't want them causing problems for whatever plantation or mine or whatever it may be. They want to push these people out of areas to accumulate that capital. And there's a couple of pictures. See, here she is again. What do you think about that, Western feminists? Here's so apparently there's I guess that gender-wise, maybe the Maoists are pretty cool. I mean, I don't I don't know who does the dish. I'm guessing the women probably still do the cooking, most of the cooking, in the camps. But these are some of the Maoist rebels or the comrades she was hanging out with. And so she wrote a book on it. And of course, this book has been banned. Universities are not, basically they're not. It's a bad book because of course it destroys the state narrative and the press narrative about the Maoists, because of course the Maoists are terrorists and they just want to kill because they're, I guess Ashley would say, they're nihilistic. They don't care about life. So her book has been banned. And also at this last week or so, they finally been trying to get her on sedition, because also she's been quite vocal on Kashmir. She's been quite vocal and quite critical. She also spent some time in Kashmir with some other comrades, maybe. The resistance against the Indian state and what they've been doing in Kashmir. I can't say what their political philosophy is, but they're against the Indian state, what the Indian state's doing there. She's an enemy. They want to make her an enemy of the state. But again, of course, they would go after her because it's the process, of course, is part of the punishment. So even if they, in the end, they don't get their conviction, it's a warning to look, we'll do this to her. And it's not like she's only known in India, which would be enough because India is huge. But they'll do it to Arundhati Roy. They'll do it to anybody, so you better shush up. But props to her. I mean, really.
No, that's amazing. I didn't know this, that she was arrested. I knew that she was very much a critic of pacifism and of Gandhiism, and was spilling the tea on Gandhi and supporting the caste system. And that there were better revolutionary role models in India than him.
I'll have again, people. I'm gonna put. I'll put in the notes. Where she went walking with these comrades she was walking with, where they were. People don't know because, of course, why would leftists cover this? Because again, like Hamas, the Maoists are not the type of resistors that the nice left or the prim and proper or the we don't want to get disinvited from the nice functions left would support. So the Maoists are also not given much love or not given much support by leftists in India and out. And it could be for some of the same reasons, is that they also don't just use violence to protect, to be able to survive. Only they don't only use it in self-defense. They will go on the offense. And that, as we know, with most of these leftists, is a big no-no. So you have to suffer. And if you have to shoot someone, it has to be literally because if you don't, then they're going to kill you. But to go on the offensive, to make things as difficult as possible for the oppressors and those enabling in them, apparently for the left, that's a big no-no. It makes you a nihilist.
It makes you
Go ahead.
It makes you an insurrectionist.
Yeah.
Well, I guess it would literally make you an insurrectionist. But that's now on the left, there are no positive connotations associated with that word. Insurrection is something that only far-right fascists have ever done.
So, Sidnanda, my parents are from there, so that's what I guess. It's actually Chhattisgarh, and I'm probably not saying that right. I spent quite a bit of time in India, but all in the Mumbai region. But again, I think I like to, with Jodi Dean and with Arundhati Roy and with people in the past, there's examples. There was a left, or there is still a left, that doesn't duck and cover when the people you're supporting have to go on the offensive or take the opportunity to go on the offensive or, God forbid, engage the enemy in the terms the enemy sets for them.
Well, we are allowed to support those brave fighters in the Ukraine.
Yes, that's right. When it's
all politics.